On this episode of the Risingspivey Show, I get some tips from personal trainer and fitness nutrition expert Kiana Jones. Also, Brian Hampton interviews Brian Pitts of SoundDeaf.com. But first, let's meet my special guest, Avery Leak of Averys Bar and Lounge. Thanks for watching the Risingspivey Show.
Oh yes, there's an S on my chest. Miss Spivey is the best, and I can't take credit. I just happen to be blessed. I got a message to share. Listen if you dare. Don't follow the shadows. Look up and see clear. I swear it's like Plato's allegory of the cave. How can I free people who choose to be slaves? I try until they put me in the grave. I promise the world I save. The world I save. I'm at one with the universe, the world is mine. I'm focused on my grind, I'm focused on the climb up the mountain of success. Love and no stress is written in the stars. I have Avery Leak here with me from Averys Bar and Lounge on 8th Street. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great, and yourself?
I'm doing very good. I'm happy you had a chance to stop by because I know you're a busy guy these days. You had time for little old Risingspivey?
I had time for Risingspivey.
Tell me what's going on. You have a bar now on 8th Street. This is a big venture for you, I'm sure. How did this even get started? What led you into the lounge business, the club business? Can I call it a club or a bar lounge?
Lounge, bar, club.
Okay.
Yeah.
What got you there?
Honestly, man, just my passion for wanting to bring people together. I started out planning events. I mean, my first event, I used to have house parties at my mom's house, and that was in the 8th grade. I used to charge people 50 cents to get in. I mean, that was a turning profit back then. So that's how it all came full circle later on. And I didn't see what I was becoming at the time, but that's what brought the whole bar and lounge did to me. It was just so far-fetched. But
Well, you have experience with throwing parties because you are a part of one of my favorite groups, the Fellas.
Yes.
And you all are very good at doing that and bringing people together. You all have a great following.
Yes.
So from 50 cents to get into mom's crib to throwing backyard bashes that bring thousands of people out at a time. Am I right?
Yes, you're right.
I went to one myself, and I'm trying to tell you, I swear it was like 2,000 people there. Am I exaggerating? Or
no, you weren't exaggerating. You're about right.
That sounds about right.
That's
I could not believe. No, I seriously could not believe how many people were there. How many people? How many guys are in the Fellas?
It's 10 of us in it.
Okay.
10 guys in the Fellas. And it was something we built over time. It wasn't something that you just walked into and you said, oh, there's 2,000 people. It was built from maybe 7, 8 years from that.
Well, let me stop there because if you're a regular watcher of the Risingspivey Show, the Fellas have been on. Some of the Fellas have been on. Will has been on a lot. But tell us, for those that don't know, what is the Fellas?
The Fellas Circle of Success is basically a group of friends who all seeked out on their own endeavors to, whether it was in education, law enforcement, IT. We even have a friend that's in law school, currently about to graduate this year. And it's been a whole bunch of different guys who engaged on a social level a lot out in the street, and then we said, you know what, let's take it to another level. Let's get involved with the community. Let's have parties, and then we started thinking about what we represented as a brand. That's when we came with the whole Circle of Success, because we all were doing successful things, and then everything gelled together, and it formed that great group and that great form of trust.
And now here you are with your own lounge. Now, you might not toot your own horn, but I'm going to toot it for you. It can't be too many young brothers. We don't have to tell your age, but you got to be my age.
Right.
Brothers that own lounges, clubs, bars down in D.C. Can there? How did you come up with it? How did this happen, Avery? Because I know that there are plenty of people that would love to follow in your footsteps.
I think that the creative process is what got me here. I think most people look at, I looked at the glass as half empty, half full, with trying to go into this thing, and I had an opportunity. I invested with someone who believed in me. When I say invested, meaning someone actually thought that this would be a great idea if I just believed that I can do it. And we negotiated some terms and we moved on. And I basically found a location that was a bar previously before I came in it, so I wasn't trying to focus on the build out of a bar, which is like multi-million dollars.
Right.
And I think that's what most people, when they're trying to finance a dream, they go off of the perception of a bar or a nightclub, and they think multi-million dollars, and no one can be creative and say, how can I get there with what I have and focus on what I have? And I think that's how Averys came about.
Well said. Well said. Well, if you stay tuned with us after we take a couple breaks, I have a couple other guests that I can't wait to show my viewers. I want to talk more about Avery's Bar and Lounge and how you got to be the successful brother that you are today.
Okay.
All right. Shout out to Kamisha in the building. We'll be right back. As promised, I have Key in the studio, and we are going to, what are we making here? Tell me what we got going on.
Today we are making a green smoothie, which is going to include spinach, pineapples, almonds, and water.
You were telling me the health benefits of this. I know the spinach is going to be good for me because it's iron enriched, right?
Yes, iron enriched, dietary fibers, vitamins, calcium.
And the almonds are good for protein.
Right, which is going to help you feel fuller longer.
Okay, and I love pineapple, so that doesn't have to have a reason.
Sweet is good enough.
Okay, so how do we start?
So first, we are using the NutriBullet. You can use a blender, it doesn't matter, but it all depends on what kind of blades your blender has.
So what is that? Let's see, these blades, this is...
Yeah, this infomercials everywhere, Target, whatever, but this is really good because, yeah, you see whole spinach, whole almonds, and these were frozen pineapples. It is going to liquefy all of that. You're not going to even know that this was whole product.
Even the almonds?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to be able to drink the almonds. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Got to see this.
Yeah. All right, so first things first is the spinach. It's about 1 cup. So we're doing a serving. So you would drink all of this.
Now, you said we can use this as a meal replacement, right? If I'm on the go in the morning, I can...
On the go, perfect. So as you're getting ready, put about a handful. You don't want it too much.
Okay.
But that's good. This nice device here, we're going to...
It's so pretty
I
already.
know, right? Oh, forgot the water. It's not going to do anything.
Need the water.
So it has like a little measuring thing on here. For 1 serving, 6 to 8 ounces. All depends on the texture that you like. So we're going to go about halfway.
Okay.
Now, I'm using water because 0 calories, 0 sugar. You can use milk, almond milk, whatever you choose, but water is better. And isn't that pretty?
It is. It looks
But see,
like
it's getting good. All right. So, nice. So we don't even notice that we had all that stuff in it, right?
Okay, it looks pretty, but I'm not sure about how it's going to taste.
We shall see.
Do I need an acquired taste for this? Do I need to brace myself?
It
has pineapples. It can't.
Pineapples. It's not going to be that bad. Trust me.
Let's
I
cheers.
had this morning, so you're good.
To healthy living.
Yes.
It's
and
good.
And you can chew a little bit. You taste the almonds.
It's really
just a
good.
tad, but
I taste mostly the pineapples, actually.
See? So you'll never know. Good to go. And less than 300 calories. So, like I said, and you're going to feel full because of the protein in the almonds.
Okay, so if you stick around with us, I want you to help me get in shape. I want to teach me some moves. My target areas are abs, arms, and booty.
Okay. Well, I will write that up for you real quick.
Okay.
We'll get to it.
Cool. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Brian Hampton bring you the Lifestyle Entertainment Report, and I have with me Brian Pitts. And I'm not going to explain. I'll let you explain who you are. I'll let you tell us a little bit about your background and yourself.
Well, first of all, I'm Brian Pitts. I'm an entrepreneur. I started in radio as an intern with Radio 1, 102.3, and KYS. I was the errand boy.
Okay.
I did a lot of that, a lot of the groundwork.
I'm sure you met a lot. Met a lot of people, learned a lot of things.
I met a lot of people, saw a lot of things. I saw a lot about business. I saw a lot that behind the scenes, everything isn't peaches and cream. Everything is real life when you're in there. That's what I learned.
Right.
In that field.
Right, and getting them behind the scenes, when people press play, all you hear and what you see and hear on the radio,
Exactly.
That's all the people get, but there's a lot that goes into that.
Yeah, it's a lot of groundwork just behind anything that's successful.
So how that in turn helped you create Sound Def?
Well, I was speaking to DJs, one friend of mine, DJ Gemini, who helped me out a lot. I got into the radio station, just wanted to start wanted to go into A&R. But at that time, I believe it was 2010, I was looking around like, wow, like nobody really needs an A&R nowadays. Acts are blowing up off of YouTube views themselves and getting record deals without any help. So I started Sound Def as a way for people to express themselves musically. That's pretty much where it came from, for people to have a voice.
Okay. I guess the motivation I know behind it, you were mainly to get other artists and give them a platform. What was, I guess, what kind of motivated you behind the website with the artists having that platform?
Well, I've always been into pre-production, film, and audio. I've always been a real behind-the-scenes kind of guy. I've always had a real good ear for talent. Originally, I wanted to manage people, but I said instead of doing that, instead of having 1 or 2 people I can manage, why not manage hopefully thousands, hopefully millions? Not saying me per se, I'm just saying that the website can do that, and you can do it yourself by just logging on. Sound Def is a way for people to create a buzz for themselves. They start a community online, and the harder they work, the more views they get, which in turn will lead to all kinds of exposure. It's countless. The difference between us and other sites are that other sites are so saturated right now. So people say, yeah, go here, go there, but when you go, you never find them because there's millions of people on there. With us, it's real straight to the point. You type your name and you come right up, boom. So I think people really appreciate it. It's real user-friendly. Anybody can use it. My grandma could use it. You know, it's real easy to use. Real straight to the point.
And how about registration? Is that free?
Yes, registration is completely free.
And that's what's a huge thing, I think, for me is especially a lot of artists who are coming up, usually young independent artists, a lot of the good talent doesn't have that backing as far as, you know, money-wise, you got to, you know, pay to meet this person or get into these different mixes that they have so that you can actually give them the platform to put out the music, you know. And I think that's definitely good for the artists, you know.
On our front page, we actually have a video platform where people, underground artists, can actually use, we can showcase their talents on the very front of the page. So everybody's the star on that site.
I would say about Sound Def, what have you gained or what have you learned the most about just, you know, with the website?
The site taught me how to make money online. It taught me how to go about getting advertisement. It taught me how to bring advertisement to me. It taught me how to just go hard for what I want, you know. I believe Mark Zuckerberg, he didn't even want advertising. I did, straight from the jump. You know, to me, I'm not going to turn down any kind of money.
Yeah, that's the goal.
So from that and blogging, I do pretty good. We have editorials on the site as well that I write up and edit myself. So all that in one is Sound Def.
Yeah, definitely. Nothing like that mailbox, you know, checks, definitely. So what are your, I guess, your short term and your, or your goals period? Don't have to be short term and long term, but your goals for the site.
My goals for the site is to expand it into a brand. The word Sound Def is just a word right now, but I want it to be almost a slang for people who like what they hear. Like, let's say I hear something, I can say, oh man, that sounds deaf. Either way, you're saying the name of my site.
Right.
So it'll always be embedded in people's brain. Every time somebody says Jiggy or Bootylicious, you think of Will Smith and Beyonce. They created that, you know, and that's now a brand. So Sound Def is definitely going to be a brand. We're going to expand into movies, and hopefully within 10 to 15 years, a school to teach kids actually how to use audio equipment and film equipment.
Definitely good job with that. Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you guys for having me. I definitely appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it.
No problem. Stay tuned. We're going to have Miss Spivey and Key coming up.
So Kiana showed me earlier how to eat healthy. We made that tasty green smoothie. Right now she's going to show me how to get my body tight because I want to put on this bikini and I want to feel like the bomb. So I told her I have 3 specific areas I want to work on. My arms,
my abs, and my hind.
Yeah.
So what do we start with?
So first we're going to start with the derriere area.
Okay.
So first we're going to do basic squats. So with that, you're going to be kind of like in a chair position when you go down. The weight is going to be in the heels of your feet. In order not to fall, you need to keep your core, which is your stomach area, tight. So as if you're doing a crunch or that cough feeling, that. So you're going to go down and back up.
Okay.
We're going to do that about 5 times and back up. Now, if you do it correctly, you start feeling your quads too.
Yeah.
And you have to remember, when you come up, to squeeze your behind area, because that's important. That's going to help you get that natural lift and that roundness.
And that's what it is, because everybody always says you got to do squats, and that's because you want to get describe what are the benefits of squats.
The benefits of squats is to give you a more rounder appearance, lift, just look overall better in your clothes. That's what we want.
Okay, so what else we got? We have another derriere workout too, right?
Yes, we have what's called hip lift. So this is a floor exercise. So you're going to be on your back.
Okay.
And your hands are going to be to the side. And what you're going to do is you're going to bring your hips up off the ground. Now when you do that, you're going to hold it for about 2, squeeze, and then release. Come back up, squeeze, and release. Back up, squeeze, and release. Now that is doing the same thing.
Okay.
But it's also kind of working your abs too and your legs, but mainly your butt area.
Alrighty. Now also the arms, because I got to get these arms together.
Right.
A little jigglish going
So
on.
now with arms, we're going to start off with push-ups.
Okay.
For beginners, we're going to do modified, but we're also going to use the push-up bars.
Okay. These are going to help me, right? This
Yes.
not going to make it harder for me, right?
No, they're going to help you. They're going to help you.
Because I'm a beginner. I'm new to this.
All right, so first things first is with modified, your feet are going to be up. This area here is straight and aligned. Your shoulders are over your hands. Now, when you go down as far as you can. Not saying hit the floor, but go down as far as you can and come back up. Now, as your strength builds, you'll be able to go further and further, so you'll notice that.
How many of these do you recommend I do a day?
As a beginner, do about 10 to 15.
Okay.
Once it becomes easier, then you can increase your reps.
I can handle that. I can handle that.
The other one is bicep curls.
Okay.
So
Now
this
we're
one
getting
you
the
need weights. Right. Beginner start off with 5 pounds. Now, arms are to the side. And when you come up, I want you to squeeze and then release. Again. Right. So same thing, about 10 to 15 of those too, because you're working 2 different areas in the arms
Gotcha.
with those 2 different exercises.
Okay. Now, I told Kiana that I really wanted to do something that I could do in the house because I don't always get to go to the gym. So this seems perfect.
Yes, perfect. Floor, little space, you're good.
Okay.
And you don't even need any equipment. So if you don't have weights, you don't need them. Just make sure you're squeezing as you're coming up. But resistance is always better.
Now the abs, the tough part.
Abs.
I have an 8-year-old, so I know I look good for a mama. But I'm starting to see a little something right here
Yes,
that
so-
wasn't always there.
So yes, we're going to work on that. That's the lower area that a lot of women have issues with. Like, it's just food, but it's okay. We're going to work it out. So first things first is we're going to do what's called bicycles. Bicycles is you're on your back in a basic crunch position. That means your legs, your knees and legs are up. And what's going to happen is when you extend your foot, the elbow is going to meet the opposite. So you're twisting at your torso, and then you twist the other direction. Now this is very slow. So you should be contracting your muscles in your stomach. So this is helping your obliques, lower abs, all that good stuff.
How many of these should I be doing?
Now I want you to do about 20 of those because you just said, I want this done.
I do. Willpower.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, and then the last one is what's called toe touches. This is also a lower ab exercise.
Okay.
So you're also on your back, and your legs are straight up.
Yes, this is exactly what I need, a lower ab exercise.
So what you're going to do with this one is you're going to bring your fingertips towards your shoelaces.
Okay.
Your chin is not tucked into your chest. It's coming straight up with you, with your shoulders off the ground.
Wait a minute. My chin is not tucked in.
Yeah, so don't tuck it in. Yep, straight up.
Okay.
And then back down.
Am I doing this right?
Yep.
Okay.
Do you feel it?
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. And about how many of these should I do
I want
a
you to
day?
do 20 of those too.
20 a day.
Yes.
All right.
So if you do this routine about every other day, twice, you should be good.
I should be good. They say it takes 6 weeks to see results. Do you think that's fair?
About 4 to 6, yep, for you to see it. And then others are going to start slowly seeing it too. Then they'll hop on the smoothie and exercise bandwagon. That's fine.
Okay. Thank you so much, girlfriend.
No problem.
All right, so I'm going to be in the summertime in June. You guys going to see me on Instagram like Kiana, real loud and proud, hanging all out. I'm playing. That's probably not going to happen, but maybe next summer.
No, this summer. We're going to make it happen.
Thank you so much for coming to the studio.
You.
I'll see you
Appreciate
next
it.
time.
All right.
And you all stay tuned. We'll be right back with Avery. I spoke earlier about how successful you are so far with your venture. I want to know what have been some of the challenges that you faced in opening up. I can only imagine there are a lot of pieces to that puzzle. So tell me, what are some of the challenges and how did you overcome them?
I think one of the main challenges was in the beginning, like the identity part. I knew I had my favorite bars that I like to go to, and I was thinking, how can I create them in my space? That literally drove me crazy because I knew I didn't have the budget that these bars had. And what came from that, that struggle was Averys. You know, my significant other told me, she was like, why don't you name it Averys? I'm like, who's Avery? And she was like, man, name it Averys, man. I was like, fine, I'm gonna rock with it. But if I name it Averys, it has to be authentic. And that challenge was trying to find what lane to go in. Then I said to myself, I had to create my own lane and strive in that. So that's how one of the main challenges I was trying to figure out, how can I fit on 8th Street? How can I fit in D.C. and not be like everyone else?
And how do you do that?
Well, mainly, man, like a lot of things in my bar, or should I say, I created backdrops in my bar that will inform people of where they're at when they're there. Most people, I realize when they went in other bars or lounges, they taking bathroom shots. And I was like, I think that's kind of tacky in a way. And I was like, how can I create that image where people can take pictures by certain backdrops in my bar and you will know it's them. And one of my favorite quotes on the wall is, far from a Harvard student, just had the balls to do it. And that's actually painted on the wall. That's, of course, from Jay-Z. And it just, small backdrops like that, the black and white flag behind the DJ booth, people love those backdrops. And that's one of the things I said to myself.
And the chalkboard.
And the chalkboard. How can I forget about the chalkboard? And it was also an idea of my significant other, Kim. She was like, that's for the chalkboard. I was like, what? Not chalkboard? So just for the record, that wasn't my idea, but I'm so glad that she gave it to me, though, because people love the chalkboard.
And what about that cool photo booth? I've seen that a couple times there, right?
Yeah. Kim again. Kim started.
Is she responsible for all of this?
I mean, hey, I mean, the man is only good as his woman, you know. So you got a great woman behind you. You'd be surprised how far you can go. So she started with the photo booth with one of her birthday parties.
I think it's so cute.
And so yeah, sometimes people kind of piggyback off that and they bring it in that space and creates that homebody feel, like, you know.
So tell me now, what do you feel like the idea? I can imagine that everybody's probably like, yeah, you got it going on, Avery, you got a bar, you so successful. I mean, I feel the same though, but what do you feel? How does that make you feel? Because I can tell you from the other side, as a talk show host, a lot of people think, you know, I'm a millionaire sometimes, and I'm still on the road to where I want to be. How about you?
I can agree with you. I know Kim and I often talk about, like, your whole story. I remember, like, one time we were at the Glen Arden Park and we were talking about, I'm trying to leave my job.
And I was still at GSA then.
And he was like, Avery, like, I want to leave. I said, you know, it's probably the only way you're guaranteed to win is if you never give up.
You did say that to me.
And I took my own advice, and I think one of the things with that was I realized what success looked like. I thought it was this shiny, bright thing, this rainbow, and all that was an illusion to what really success was, and that shocked me, because I said, I only went off of my perception of what things be, but success is really hard work. Yeah. When people are not watching the things you're doing, the 17-hour days you put in when everyone thinks that you've been there for the last couple of days because you're your own boss, or you can just get up and go when you want to. I think that's the furthest thing from the truth when you're an entrepreneur. It's countless hours. It's 24 hours a day. You know, even when you're not there, you're still worried about some things that could happen the next day. So I think mostly people should understand that when it comes to opening a business or being successful, that is not the big shiny bright lights. It's hard work. It's sacrifice, and that's the only thing I can say about it.
Now, I love to close my shows with one question. What is the Avery brand? When people think of Avery, what do you want them to envision?
I think I want them to envision. I want to represent an idea. I heard Will Smith say that one time. That if you believe in something, if you can create something in your mind, you can do it. And I think when people see Avery's Bar Lounge, they'll see the name, but once they see the philanthropy work I've done, the things that I plan to do, all of it will come full circle.